Are you trusting your summer comfort to Puxatawny Phil? While historically Phil is only 35% accurate, Premier 100% knows summer's on the way. Get $2,000 off a new HVAC unit when you buy select high-SEER energy-efficient units from Premier Heating and Air. Join the Premier Club for $99 and get a free Wi-Fi thermostat. Club membership includes 20% off repairs, priority booking, annual cleaning and inspection. Call today and learn more about club benefits. Call 478-300-2633 or log on to premierishere.com. Experience a Premier difference today. A locally owned and operated company.
All right, everyone. I'm Dwayna Cooper, and I'm here today for the fourth conversation with the members of the St. Patrick's Committee and the series that I'm calling All Things Festival. I have Miss Kathy Jones and Jeff Cannon with me today. Kathy, just introduce yourself and tell people who you are, a little bit about you.
Hey, Dwayna, it's nice to see you. I'm Kathy Jones. I've lived in Dublin. It'll be almost 35 years. I am the wife of Lincoln Jones, who's from Dublin. I'm a South Carolina girl, so I'm a transplant, but I've been here so long, I feel like I'm a Georgia girl now. We have two children, Gant and Mary Lawless. We have one granddaughter, Graves, and one on the way.
Oh.
And I'm the practice director for Smile Doctors Orthodontics, and have been involved in the festival for over 32 years. So
Wow.
I love it. It's what makes Dublin special for sure.
It really is. I'm a husband transplant as well.
Yep. We do those things for love. I say love makes you do things like move to Dublin, Georgia. So.
It does, it does. And then we have Jeff Cannon as well. Hi, Jeff. Let's,
Hi, how are you?
Let's learn a little bit about you.
Yeah, I grew up in Dublin. I've been involved with the festival, I guess, since the early days when
Your whole life?
I was in the leprechaun contest when I was small. So I've been involved with that forever. My wife's name is Cheryl. She owns the Lawrence Now magazine, and we have four children: Camden, Ridge, Candace, and Rachel. Three of them live here. They are all, trying to get them, the ones that live locally, get them involved in the festival. I've got 7 grandchildren, and just I'm kind of like Kathy. I've been involved with it so long; it's just like second nature to, St. Patrick's is Dublin. So
Exactly.
It really, really is. And being on the committee, Dublin has so many community activist people. We have all the groups, and being on a committee it's an effort of love because it takes a lot of work. This committee particularly works year round. And it's kind of like a little bit of a part-time job that you do just out of love for your community, right? And especially all the years that you guys have put into something like this. It's got to be like part of your life, actually, at this point.
It really is, because it's just, I was chairman of the festival in the last century, so it's been a long time ago. And the festival
1800s?
Just close to it. But it was like, the committee was like 5 people back in the day. So, and it's just grown so much to where it is a labor of love because, none of us are paid, don't want to be paid. We just love what we do, and it's just a great thing to help make the community, keep the community on the map.
That's what I love, is that it is all volunteer. There's so many other festivals across the state that have paid members, and I would feel weird taking money, because we're all giving back, and what I love is all the events that are part of the festival. Those events give back to the community. So it's just a win-win for everybody. No matter, whenever you attend an event, you're helping give back to that organization. You're sponsoring whatever their passion is or whatever their purpose is. And that's what I've always loved about the festival, is it's very much a community event giving back to the community.
That and just creating, family memories. I know that you mentioned the leprechaun contest. I know that there are families in Dublin that grandmother participated and mother and now daughter or even grandchildren.
Yeah.
So many traditions.
Also, I think it's so cool that every year you think, it can't get any bigger and better. This is going to be the pen, and then the next year it's bigger and better. Someone else thinks of a new event, or the whatever event is grown and gotten larger. So again, this is the 61st year, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
that's just amazing. That's just amazing. So
It's absolutely amazing. We kicked off this year with the Miss St. Patrick's
Right.
contest because we have to have her crowned and ready to go to all of the events.
Right.
And then this year, the way the calendar fell, things are starting much earlier. We've got Pig in the Park, starting this weekend. So truly, over a month-long, calendar of events. And if you were looking for those, you can find these brochures all around town. And if you open up the brochure, I just want to show this because it's really impressive, the amount of events that, are part of the festival this year. Look at there, that's
Wonderful.
a lot. So we are here today, though. We are focusing a little bit on the event that you guys are the chair of this year, and that is the Music and Munchies. That is the end of the day event for Super Saturday. But let's just talk about how big this day is in the community and how that goes.
yeah, that's the Munchies is what I've always been involved in since 1996, I think. But a thing I love again about the Munchies is it's always so well attended because it's family, it's food, and it's music. And when you get the three of those combination together, it's a win-win. And people have spent the day going to the Leprechaun Road Race. They've participated in arts and crafts. They've just gone around to the shops downtown, just having a great day. And then you kind of end the day again back downtown with the Munchies. And of course, it's been called Main Street Munchies and, different things through the years, but now we're calling it Music and Munchies. And it's just always a fun event, and we're just so excited to be a part of it again this year.
96, that's amazing.
I know.
That's amazing.
I
That
know.
is quite the tradition, really. 90, wow.
And I'm
that's
just
very-
a junior member of this because Kathy did it. I helped a little bit in the past. I would do whatever she would tell me needed to be done. And then we suspended it for a few years because there were some issues, and we tried it out at Southern Pines. Didn't work out as great as we'd want. Then we brought it back, did it in the park a couple of years, and then COVID hit. And then we went to the market and we moved it back downtown. This is
The third year?
third year back downtown.
Yep.
So we're back on Main Street, and it's back like it used to be. It's like, it's got that feel. Main Street
does.
makes it have that feel.
Yeah, when you look at the old pictures of, how crowded it was, and it was, bumper to bumper. And again, I love to see the families with their strollers and people just visiting. And then now, of course, it's more food trucks than it used to be. In the initial stages of the Munchies, we wanted to have local Boy Scout troops, church groups, church, maybe women's organizations, and then restaurants and caterers. I would always say anybody who was maybe starting a new business, a new catering business, this is an opportunity for you to showcase your products and let people taste, what you have to offer. But it has definitely evolved with the exciting transition to food trucks.
Sure.
It's really kind of cool. And so there are all kind of items for any kind of food you want, drinks. We're also serving beer and wine, which is something that was added a couple years ago. But it's still a family event, and it's still fun and very safe.
Yes.
And I just encourage everyone to continue the tradition and to come join us on March the 14th.
Yeah, it's actually an amazing atmosphere. Now, this year, we've got two bands that
Two
are
bands.
premiering, so the entertainment will go on and on. So talk to us a little bit about who's coming and what we can expect.
Okay, we're hoping the opening act tonight will be the Emerald Empire Band, which some people may have heard more in like wedding venues. I've heard this band twice. They're very good, and they're going to open the night up somewhere between 5 and 5:30, as soon as we can get everything situated
Sure.
and get them on stage, because we have to. Just a little idea. We have to get the street cleared after the parade, get the fencing up, and get the stage up so that we can get sound equipment all set up. So it's a little bit of a transition downtown from about noon to
Right.
2:30 or 3.
Right.
And but the Emerald Empire will open it up, and then they will play till 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and then as quick as we can transition to the next act, the Tams will come on.
Sure, and the classic.
The Tams are I guess you would call them a Carolina beach group.
They are.
They, because we heard them, I probably heard them about the time Kathy moved to Dublin. I'm trying to remember, it was about that time, it's the first time I'd ever heard the Tams.
Sure.
And
Of course, I grew up with them, being from
Yes.
South Carolina. So, yeah, they were big beach fans.
so any of the people, in the past, we've always had the swinging medallions here. Well, they're kind of in that same vein.
Sure.
So if you like the swinging medallions, you never heard the Tams, you'll like the Thames too. So.
And then the party, the first band is like a Atlanta
Yes.
party band.
Yes.
So
Huge,
they're
big,
fun.
big group,
70s,
big numbers.
80s.
70s and 80s
Yeah.
music. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, I love that because we sort of have a little bit of everything, every type of genre for anybody. But also it's just music that you can listen to when you're walking down the street going to get something to eat, you know, so it's just, I don't know, I think it's going to be a really fun night. And I love that every year, last year we had Will Mosley, which was a huge success, and it was country music. So I like that we're kind of doing different genres every year, you know, and just kind of keeping it fresh. So.
Yeah, it'll be a great variety. Stay right there. We will be back with more All Things Festival.
Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, green and growing, invested in the communities we serve. For consumer loans, commercial loans, mortgage loans, contact us at 272-7775 or log on to cbs-lc.com. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, located on Hillcrest Parkway and downtown in the Henry Building. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Introducing Kubota's Z200 series mowers with the new K-Ride comfort system. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 1.99% APR for up to 24 months.
Products you can count on, a name you can trust. That's Midstate Tractor and Equipment.
Tell somebody how they can come, how they can get tickets, ticket prices, a little bit of information about that.
Okay, tickets are available there. You pre-buy them and you can go to visitdublinga.com or .org, is it?
.org, yes.
.org, or to dublinstpatricks.com. You know, just either one of those sites, and you can pre-buy your tickets. They're $20, or with a fee. I think there's a fee when you buy it through Everbright, but or it's $20 at the gate. So you know, and you can, you know, buy them in advance or
That's a great price.
Catch
It's
them
a
at the
very
gate.
friendly price.
Because I get the information, and that's kind of great because you go ahead and get it done. That way, when you walk in, you know, as you're wandering back over from arts and crafts, you just walk in and you just show them your ticket and you can go in. The great thing we're doing this year is we are allowing children 10 and under to come in free.
Yeah.
It used to be 5, and we just really realized that that can be expensive for a family if you're having to buy for your kids. So again, the Munchies has always been a wonderful family event, so we're going to say now 10 and under get in free. So I think that's wonderful because
That's
it really-
great.
and it was a concern of ours. We wanted all the vendors to do well, and we
Sure,
didn't
right.
want you to spend all your money trying to get in. So we're like, we want you to have your money there to make the vendors want to be back next year.
100%, and offer that variety to the
Right.
people so that, you know, they can have those choices for food and really just make it a good event for everyone. And kind of in that vein, I doubt that most of the people at home have any idea like what you're talking about switching over, like how many things are involved with fencing and small details like trash cans and just public
Trash is a big
safety.
deal.
It is. I mean, it
If
really
anyone
is.
wants
You
to help us
laugh, but
pick
I
up
mean,
the trash, we'll be glad to. We'll love your help. You know, so.
when something that big, you know, you're in a city and you're closing down a city street, I mean, you have the police officials involved. Like, there's so many details that you guys work out for this.
Well, again, you know, Jeff and I are in charge of it, and we're responsible for everything. But what's so wonderful about our festival committee is that everybody helps and says, what can I do to help you? And they just show up and say, hey, put me to work, you know. And it's just, I mean, we do a lot of legwork behind the scenes and before the event. Jeff does a lot of the logistics with, you know, Garrett Fence Company. Contributes the fencing, and we have to get the porta potties up, and we have to,
Sure.
you know, make sure that we have a map for all the vendors. And you know, some vendors want to be near the music, and some people want to be away from the music, and so we have to kind of, you know, work out those logistics. But you know, it's a well-oiled machine, so it's not super difficult, you know.
And we do want to thank the city. The city works with us. You know, they're just great partners
Yes.
in this with the police force and sanitation department, and they're just, you know, we couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely.
I know they all show up and they're always happy, the police, the sanitation people, and you know, they want to be there, and that's what makes us feel good, because we know that our visitors are going to be safe, and that they're going to have a good time, and they're going to feel protected. So I like that, and we do appreciate all the city does for us. They really do help us.
And a twist this year is the Pilot Club is coming on to do a lot of the man the gate for us. The Pilot Club wanted to get involved, so they contacted us, and They're going to provide probably half the manpower for our gate workers.
Which is wonderful.
So we want to
Yeah,
thank the
just-
Pilot Club for that.
Another perfect example
Yeah,
of community
that's it.
support and,
Exactly.
working together.
People always ask me, how can I get involved in the festival? I want to be a part of it. They think it's this little secret club. It is not. We want anybody and everybody. And, I tell people, I'll put you to work, and you can do other things. I mean, there are so many things with every event that we need help. So I always encourage people to, if you're interested, there's a place on our website that you can
For
to sign up
volunteers,
to be a
yes.
volunteer.
Yes.
Also, if you join the Order of the Shillelagh, the Order of the Blarney Stone, then your name is there, and you can also put on there that you want to maybe help with the Munchies. I want to help with the Balloon Fest. I want to help with the kite flying jamboree. I mean, just whatever thing that interests you. We always need help.
Yeah, that's how I got involved with the committee. Last year, I just started as a volunteer,
Right.
and then a position came open on the committee that kind of suited me, but otherwise, that's how I started. I just said I would love to be involved in that. It looks great.
Exactly.
And here I am with you guys.
I think the way I got involved was when I wanted joined the Order of Shillelagh when I got back from college and started working in the banking community. Was the Shillelaghs used to man the Coke wagon during the arts and crafts when the arts and crafts was in the park.
The
That was
Coke wagon?
that was probably
Yeah.
my
that's the best job is working the Coke
wagon. Yeah, you just sold Cokes. That's the way. Probably the first job I had with the festival. Too many years, 40 years ago, probably.
That's awesome. So there are a lot of traditions involved with this festival, things that people do. They buy the green ribbons and we paint the city streets. We're going to do that actually this Sunday, March the 1st down there. But Jeff, you've got a festival like lifelong history. One of the things I wanted to just have you briefly speak about is your mother and the Spirit of the Festival Award that's given out at the Civic Luncheon.
Yes.
Just talk to me about that. I mean, you've obviously.
This all started, I guess, going back to when I was little. I can remember my mom was not in the initial 5 or 6 people with Dick Killebrew and Ann Everly and that group that actually started it, but she came into the festival pretty quick. I mean, because she was involved with it by the time I was in the Leprechaun contest, which was a long time ago. And she stayed with the festival until she just wasn't able to go anymore. I mean, she worked in whatever.
Amazing.
She was a member of the Pilot Club, and when they handled Miss St. Patrick's, that was one of her loves. First Methodist Church used to do Feast with Fashion. That was they used to have that. She was involved with that. She worked arts and crafts. It was just whatever, because I can remember when I was small, she was a beautician, and some of the customers used to laugh that, she would put them under the hairdryer and then she'd go do whatever had to be done with the festival and tell them to answer the phone while she was gone.
Of course you did.
But
I thought you
anyway,
were going to say she dyed their hair green.
well, I'm sure if they
Probably wanted to.
But it was just I think that's probably instilled that love I have for the festival is what she just was. It was her thing. She looked forward to March as, and like I said, all you had to do if you needed something. I think a lot of people would tell you just call Amy and she'll either get it done, she'll do it, or either she'll make sure it gets done. And
So that is the spirit of the festival.
A quick little note before you finish. I sat next to her in choir at First Methodist for many, many years. And what a blessing it was to me because she was just the most wonderful lady. And of course, I got to know Jeff and Johnny. But, she would always talk about the festival. And I'm sure a little bit of her love and, passion for it maybe rubbed off on me and made me want to be a part of it because it's just, and now we get to work together. So it's awesome.
And, she had all the pins on her lapels and she had the hat. It was just like, she was the way I pictured the festival, I guess, because I grew up with her.
I have seen the photo of her in her hat. And
The great
it's just
photo.
amazing. It really is. It's truly just amazing.
And, we just thought after a point we started talking about it, it was just something that we need to recognize people that have that kind of passion for more. No, I'm not talking about somebody that comes in and works 2 or 3 years and they disappear. I'm talking about somebody that basically dedicates, I think the requirements are like 15 years of what, at least that you're involved with it. And there are a lot of people, the people that have won this award in the past have been dedicated to the festival for
It's amazing.
many years.
It's amazing. from a new person, you know, I knew these things, but as I'm coming in and learning more, it really is amazing the sheer number of years that, you know, people like her, you, Kathy, you know, you have dedicated to
Can you win the
this
award yet?
festival.
I don't think so. Yeah.
In spirit, you can. So yay, it's truly
I love that y'all
amazing.
started doing that because it really, what a special award. I think that the fact that it's in memory of her and that y'all have done it and that the people that have won it are so deserving of it. You
And
know?
one of the most special to me was not last year, but year before, we gave it posthumously to Ann Everly,
Yeah.
who Miss Ann was such a wonderful person. And Kay's on the committee with us now, her daughter. But that was just
That
something
was.
I thought that was long past due, because Miss Ann was right in there, and that she wasn't the, you know, she wasn't the big names
She was
that
behind
everybody.
the scenes.
She was the one back there that made sure, and she was, I think she worked a little bit as historian when she was able back in the day. So, yeah, that to me was probably one of the most special we've done.
And then just another example of her daughter now being,
Right.
you know, and serving on the committee as well.
Right. Yeah.
You know, thinking about serving on the committee, my family will say, when are you going to quit? When are you going to quit doing it? And, you know, sometimes you think, well, maybe it's time to do it. But I think I would miss, we talk about it all the time. We're going to go out together. We say, whenever we do it, it's going to be together. But we're just like, every year you think, I don't want to give it up. I want to be a part of it, you know. And so that's what I love about Dublin, is we just all come together and you kind of forget any things that you might think about, you know, your differences or whatever, and you just come together as a community, and every event is fun and special. I mean, I love it. I just look
It
forward to
is.
it every year.
I've discovered that myself, and I'm a new fan of every event, and I'm
Well-
so excited to attend this year.
Something I found out when I grew up watching this whole time was the Exchange Club doing the pancake supper. So I thought I'm a fairly new member of the Exchange Club, and I always thought that would just be the neatest thing to cook pancakes.
Now you know.
So after I joined, somehow I got put on a griddle.
Well, you probably
Right-
told me
right
to
off
put
the
on the
bat.
griddle.
Anyway,
Be careful
maybe they
what
could
you
see it in my
ask
face. And so after we started, I thought, this is just really neat. And after cooking about 100 million pancakes, you're sitting there going, this was
I
fun,
bet you
right?
don't want a pancake after you cooked them, have you?
I have gone home and Cheryl's like, you smell like pancakes. But it is just that event is just and it's one of the original
Right,
events.
right.
And it's just.
And it grows and grows.
And this is one of the great things about the family atmosphere is that's where a lot of people see each other.
Yes.
They may not see each other all year, but they'll
Yes,
see them at
yes.
pancake supper.
You're right.
So
And they
we-
look forward to it.
And a lot of people now do the drive-through service, which we as Exchange Club offer, but it's kind of like you're missing out.
Yeah.
On what's special.
You need
Yeah.
to come in and visit with the people that you may not have seen
I
since
agree.
last March.
I agree. I look forward to it every year, and I haven't even been in the community that long, but you do see people that you haven't seen since last year, and
You're right.
it's absolutely amazing. This year, just some other things that are coming up. You know, we always have the leprechaun contest, the pancake supper. There's the road race that you talked about. That's also the morning of Super Saturday. And on March the 19th, the United Way is doing some dueling pianos out at OFTC. And I think that sounds like another fun night of music going on.
Yeah, that
And
didn't we do that in place of
Yes,
the gala a
okay.
couple of years was dueling, and it went over very well.
Yeah, if you've never been to a dueling pianos event, you need to go. It's a very enjoyable
Fun
evening.
night.
yeah,
It
I
is
think
fun.
that'll be another good time coming up. And then our last event as a committee is the Balloon Fest in Glow, the 20th and 21st, and that's always another just super fun. We'll be talking about that next week, but just truly
We all
another
get to work
super
the
fun.
canteen. I call it the canteen, the concession stand. You know, that's fun to get together and do that. So.
But yeah, just another night that is very cost effective for families. There's no charge to
Right.
get in if you
Right.
only want to come out and see the balloon glow. But then there's rides and other things
Yes.
we'll talk about. But just a whole month of fun, wonderful things that are all things festival. And thank you all so much for talking to me about music and Munchies, and
Thank you.
know, for your just commitment to the festival and this event.
Well, we're
it's going to be
excited.
great, and
We are
I'm
excited.
very excited to come this year.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Yes, it was fun.